Yeah, okay, good. CJ, now we got you. Thanks for being a part of the show. How
Yes,
much
sir.
your father, I mean, you are on podcast after podcast after podcast. How much time do you have on your hands?
Oh man, I try to make it work.
So it's great to have you on the show. What is the feeling in Tempe about the upcoming season and Arizona State being a part of the Big 12 and now a conference that you know all about from where you grew up?
Oh, it's a lot of anticipation going to this. Everybody's excited to get a new start. Just to go surprise new people and just show everybody what Arizona State's about.
What do people not know about your team? I mean, obviously, they can see last year and you guys kind of got punched in the gut before the season with that, the bowl thing and all that I know that hurt you guys. But what do they not know about Kenny Dillingham and you guys that you're ready to kind of unleash on the world?
They don't know how much work we put in. They expect us to kind of I guess not work as hard or not do as much or not have as much confidence, but we still have the confidence that probably every other team has, and we feel like we can win. So I just feel like this year we're going to surprise some people because nobody's expecting us to do anything. So it's going to be a great year.
CJ, are you excited for the conference move? I mean, being able to get back to Texas at least a couple times a year, see some familiar faces, I'd imagine. Is that exciting for you?
Oh, yes, sir. It's exciting. When we found out that we were moving, when I saw it on Twitter, I think my dad had sent it to me. So I got out of workouts. My dad sent it. I looked at it. I was so excited because, that's just the Big 12 and SEC. Those are like the two main conferences I watched growing up. So be able to move to the Big 12, it's great. It's a great feeling.
And I've been noticing that in recruiting, but also you got a lot of Texas guys, right? I mean, I know they're starting to attack Texas even harder now with the move to the Big 12, but can you just kind of talk about the Texas contingent that you're a part of and just trying to add on to that in the coming years?
Yes, our staff, we have a lot of Texas guys on the staff, and I mean, everybody knows if you want some good players, you go to Texas. So it's starting to get that Texas to Tempe movement going on, so I'm all for it.
So, you've been able to develop as you got older, and you have two siblings that also pushed you and were mentors for you. How much, and one of them, I think, still playing college football. How much did that help you growing up?
Growing up, I mean, it was like a step up on the people that I was also getting recruited with me. Like my sister, she went through it first, learned how to go through a recruiting process, just things like that. So she kind of paved the way for all of us. And my brother, he's the one that really, when he got recruited, he really popped off. So he taught me so much going through the recruiting process or even how to play football. I'll say he probably changed the way I played the most. In high school, he was like his motor that he played with. Every time I watched him, I was like, I got to play with that motor. So now I owe my motor the way I played to him for sure. And so really just being able to be behind them and learn from them, I learned a lot just watching them and them teaching me certain things.
All right, CJ, say I'm a guard. I'm lined up across from you. Am I going to hear a lot from you, or am I just going to wait and then we're getting into a scrap? How does it go? Are you a trash talker like a John Randall, or are you a silent assassin?
I'm a silent assassin for sure. You'll hear a lot of pre-play stuff. I'm talking to the D line or talking to the linebackers, but you won't hear too much trash talk unless somebody starts it. I'm not going to just let you talk however you want. But I'm not going to start anything. But if you want to start something, I'll start talking back.
You had a couple of times when you were in high school where your career was in jeopardy because of injuries, ankle, knee, surgeries, all of that. How did you keep focused and stay determined to get where you are today?
I'd say it's really my faith. My whole family, I grew up, and we were, we're a big Christian family. So growing up, I always knew I had to have faith in God. So really, just having that faith, I knew that it was in His hands and it was going to work out. So it was just doing everything I could to make sure I stayed in a good position to keep going.
So, CJ, we're going to know the new teams that are coming over and, learn a little bit about just everything about the program. But what can you tell us about your head coach there, Kenny Dillingham? What's he like to play for? Just the personality, just what stands out to you about him as a leader of the Sun Devils football program?
His energy, for sure. You don't see very many coaches, or kind of really people in general in this profession that they're like good people like they're good with people. So the energy he brings every day and the connections he makes. I mean, he's in the locker room like almost every day. He'll come there, talk to us, and he'll be in the game room playing games with us. So he builds that connection to where you want to play for him. So it's really his energy and how he connects to the players and the coaches. He treats everyone the same. So, and he's real. If you don't know where you stand, he'll let you know for sure. He'll let you know how you are. So, yeah.
You're on the defensive line. We brought that up. You've got to have some weight, muscle, bulk, whatever, but you've trimmed down. How did you do it?
Just working with Coach Joe, watching what I eat. We have our nutritionist and we have our strength staff. So going through the workouts and then watching what I eat, just make sure I get enough protein and that I watch my carbs, just things like that. Just watching what I put in my body and how I train. It really helped. I just dropped.
CJ Fite, defensive lineman at Arizona State, with us on 365 Sports.
What did you have to cut out the most?
I'd say fried foods and chips.
Ugh.
I was bad when it came to those.
Oh, I'd be too. I'd be mad too.
Yeah, no, that's why I make sure, like, if I want to snack on something, I make sure I get some fruit because back home, like, if there was something in the pantry, I'd go grab it, snack on it, and then it didn't hold me over, and it didn't fill me up, so I go get another one. So that's really what hurt me growing up. I just kept going back for snacks and things like that. So now I try to watch my snacks and how I snack, like protein bar or some fruit. I'll do that instead.
Okay, which chips are the ones that got you the most that you just could not get away from?
I say the kettle cooked jalapeno chips.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
right on, man. I'm all over the kettle cooks.
Yeah.
The kettle cooks they get me. I was like, I gotta watch for those. So yeah.
And I love kettle cooked, just potato chips in general.
The crunch.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
If they made those illegal, you would see me out there like on the street corner, be like, you got salt and vinegar? You got salt and vinegar over there? Come on, jalapeno. You got jalapeno? Just put it in here. Yeah.
Yeah, especially Miss Vicky's. I'll do some Miss Vicky's too.
Oh my goodness, yeah. You were third in your class, I think, academically at Tatum High School. You also a pretty good chess player. Is that also what you use in a way, vice versa, as a defensive lineman against who's up across on the other side of you?
I say it takes to kind of move up. I had to kind of use more strategy. So I say chess does play a part. Because in high school, I was really just using my strength and doing certain things. So now it's like having more IQ and trying to use it to my advantage. So things like that. So I say the strategy of chess really does help for sure.
CJ Fite, Arizona State, with us on 365 Sports.
CJ, I think you kind of mentioned this towards the top of the interview, but here we are. We're heading into media days next week. There's going to be a lot of talk about the upcoming season. We're getting into that time of year. You guys know kind of where you're being viewed towards the bottom of the league coming in. Not a lot of, confidence in you guys, some doubts. How are you all handling that internally? Is that much of a conversation, or you guys just kind of keep your heads down and work, or are you using it as motivation? How do you kind of weaponize that or not?
We really don't pay too much attention to it. We know it doesn't hold very much weight. If we do, we need to do. All that goes out the window. So I'd say we know how hard we're working, and we know that all the people that are outside talking about us and saying what we're not going to do, what we are going to do, they're not the ones in there with us putting in the work. So we know if we just stay together and do what we need to do, that we'll be okay.
All right, so you have some bloodlines that are pro players. Bud Dupree, Demarius Thomas, I think, also a part of the lineage. Did you ever get a chance to pick their brain? You get to see them much, or is that just part of your bloodlines?
Nah, it's just part of the bloodline. It was on my, I think both of them on my mom's side. So my mom's side, they're in the Austin area, but I think they were. I don't know where they were. So, but I didn't really.
All right.
See them.
I don't think you'll mind me bringing this up, but I believe that when you were at Tatum High School, that former Baylor offensive line coach Eric Mateos, who's now at Arkansas, was the one who recruited the East Texas area, and he liked you a lot. Do you remember that recruitment and maybe why or what you ended up at Arizona State, which is great, but do you remember that recruitment?
Yes, I do for sure. I remember that it wasn't going to work at D-line, so they were trying to recruit me. He was trying to recruit me to come play center. So that's really after that. that was kind of it.
What do you like to do most, hunt or fish?
Fish for sure. I'd say hunting. If we shoot something like within the first, I say the first hour, then hunting's cool. But I'd rather fish. Hunting, it's just too much sitting around for me. And sometimes fishing can be boring if it's a bad day, you don't catch too much. But I say fishing for sure.
Can you tell me the story about your father and the advice he was giving you out in the woods as you guys were going out to hunt about you have to always be ready for a deer? You never know when one might not or one might come up on you. Can you recall what happened that day?
Yeah, so we were going out there. I think we were setting traps for a hog. And he was like, "You always gotta keep your rifle on you because you never know a deer might pop out on you." So we were out there, and I think we were just pulling up. So we were pulling up. And he said, "What I tell you, there's a deer right there. I don't have my gun on me," but he had a 357. So he grabbed it. He said, "Lean your seat back," but it's a electric seat. So I'm going back slow. So he pulls the gun. He just puts it out the window and he shoots it. And he shoots it like, hold on, maybe. I don't know how many times he shot it. So then that whole time, he didn't even hit the deer. So that whole time we were sitting there and our ears was just ringing the whole time. And I was just sitting there. We were just laughing the way back because it was just the thing of the seat not going back fast enough. He thought the seat was going to fly back.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
Slow, and it was crazy.
He said you were terrified.
Yeah, no. I didn't think he was actually going to do it. He just pulled a gun. It was right there. It was like right here. I'm just looking at the gun. I'm like, oh, I was sick.
So Craig brought up Arizona State joining the Big 12. We've discussed that as well. You have been good. I mean, you made an impact right away. Did you play better than you even thought, no matter the chip on your shoulder, your first year, your freshman year?
I'd say I exceeded my expectations because I wasn't even really expecting to play. I was more of trying to come in because I just came off my ankle surgery. So I was just going to come in and try to rehab, get my body back right, and learn from the vets. So being able to go out there and play, I'm blessed to be able to be in that situation for sure.
We look forward to seeing you. CJ, it was great when the schools that were coming into the Big 12, and also the connection with you. And, man, people love talking to you that cover Arizona State. Sun Devil fans have fallen in love with you. We appreciate your time. Good luck. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all for having me.
CJ Cullen Fite from Tatum High School with us on 365 Sports. And, I mean, he's a baller now. He mixes it up and is done. Baylor wanted him. They were interested, but they did not feel like, based on what they were doing with the defensive line, that he was going to be a defensive line fit. Well, he's starting as a freshman at Arizona State and will be a handful for people into the future too.